when I was a kid, I didn't have much as other kids had. When I was about 5 years old, me and my mother moved into this place, and most of you know, if you've been on my channel for so long, you would recognize this cat that I call Mama Cat. So, if you heard about her, she gave birth to Spooky, which you know, it's our black cat, of course. Not trying to be like offensive or anything, but it was our black cat, okay? And we loved that cat, so we decided to take it with us. No, we decided to keep it at my grandparents', and we just decided to keep our cats, Spots and Daisy. And they were very loving cats, but sometimes they would run away. And I remember one time, Mama Cat pooping in my bedroom, and I didn't sleep in that bedroom for days. So, every time I got somewhere, I always slept in my mother's room, because one time I fell out of my bed and busted my head on the floor. So, that's why I sleep in there from now on. And then, but I still don't today. I sleep in my room today. So, every time, so one time, I heard something. No, I didn't hear something. I would always get up, play with my Legos on this hot furnace, and one time it burnt me so bad, and it has iron, iron on it, and one time it burnt me so bad, my hand was red like a pineapple. Well, pineapples aren't red, like a red-ass tomato. I remember one time I just had this stupid thing, and one time I was playing with this toy gun, and it was like a fake toy gun. If you know them toy guns that have orange on the tips, yeah, so that's how you know they're fake. So I had one of them fake guns, and I was trying to find it. Hey, where's this toy gun? And I look at my hands. Apparently, it's in my hand. And, I didn't know what to think at that time. I felt so stupid. And one time I was climbing a tree, and I thought I was so cool, hanging on with one hand. And I didn't know I was near a beehive. Okay, I get stung in the hand that I was hanging on just with the tree. I was just hanging on with one hand, and I got stung in that hand. So I fell down all the way to the ground, hit my back on there, and I didn't worry about my back hurting. I could have got my spine cut open, my spine was hurting, but I cared about that bee sting. Bee stings apparently hurt me at that time, hurted me so bad that I didn't even worry if I had a broken spine. I just cared about the bee sting. Doctor, give me medicine. I need to take a shot. Oh my God, I don't think I'm gonna live with this anymore. I'm not gonna live. That's what it was like. And as a child, as 5 years old in that house, we didn't really have much at that time. So every time, and I'll tell you what I had. I had an Xbox 360 with only a couple games, and one time, I had a bunch of movies, but someone took them, and then we moved into this other house that had a ghost in it. I took a picture, someone ended up behind me. Yeah, and the first game I've ever played that I love was Skylanders. Skylanders was the best. You want to know something? When I was 5 years old, no, I was 6, and 2014, Skylanders was the crap back then. Let me tell you, Skylanders was the crap back then. And you know that guy with the 2 golden guns? Yeah, he was my favorite. And I had a guy that could go underwater and some other dude. I always wish that I had more Skylanders, too. And Skylanders was always my favorite toy growing up. I used to play with them, and I lost my Skylanders somewhere. I still have the game, but I lost my Skylanders somewhere. And one time, I was watching a movie in my house right now, and the Xbox wouldn't turn on. So I had to use my crappy PlayStation 3, and I ended up smashing my Xbox outside. Not because out of anger, because it wouldn't work, it wouldn't turn on. So I just smashed my Xbox outside. And now my grandparents gave me a PlayStation 4 because they gave me the PlayStation 4 because I don't want my PlayStation 3. So they said, okay, well, we don't want the PlayStation 4. We don't use it. And it's brand new, so why don't we just give it to Cody? Because Cody would use it all day. Every time he comes up here, he uses the PlayStation. So they gave me the PlayStation, okay? And that was the best day of my life, because I was playing GTA, playing Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Knight. When I was in my old house, I used to have all the Batman games. Literally, even the one that was haunted when I took the picture, I had all the Batman games. Okay, so one time, one day I beat the whole game in Batman Arkham City. I beat it in one day. It wasn't even hard. I just beat it in one day from the beginning to the end. It only took me like an hour. And one time I beat Batman Arkham Asylum, but apparently it didn't save, so like I'm still trying to beat it. And once I started I didn't want to play Batman Arkham Asylum anymore. Like, I was done with it. Like, I got caught in the middle of the game, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't beat this part, so I'm just going to, give it a while. I'm going to watch some videos, tips and tricks on how to do it. So, I'm going to be done with this. Okay, so next game I played Saints Row. Now, you might be wondering, Cody, what's Saints Row? A bad, good game. A bad, donkey, good game. So, the first one I played was Saints Row the Third, and that one was the best one for me. Because I think I beat it once, and I still got far with it. Now, next came Saints Row, the Space Row. But it wasn't called Space Row. It was like Saints Row 4 or 5. Yeah, 4. Saints Row 4. I call it a Space Row because you were in space kinda. Cause you could have the option, cause there was these little portals sometimes, and you could go to your ship and do whatever you want. And now the first ever game. Now let's cut back a little while. So after I played Saints Row 3 and Saints Row 4, Space Row and Boring Row, I call it Boring Row Saints Row 3, and Space Row, which is an awesome game, is Space Saints Row 4. And I started playing the first Saints Row. I was at a GameStop. My grandparents said, okay, you were being good, so we're going to take you to a GameStop, and you could pick whatever game you want. And I decided to pick Saints Row, the first game ever. It was called Saints Row, and then nothing there. Then I played Saints Row 2, and then I had all the Saints Rows. And then the next game I came up with, because some people said the old games are the better games, but in my opinion, I disagree. So, my next game I played was the game Bully. So, I did a couple videos on that, and I think I did a couple of videos on that. And if you don't know what Bully is, it's like this, if you had never played GTA, play that, but it's like a kid version where you're out of school and bullies pick on you. So, in GTA 5 you got the cops, and in Bully you got the bullies, of course, and then in the cars you got the skateboards and the bikes, and And yeah. So they kind of compare, and they were both made by Rockstar. And when I was about 4 years old, my mom, my mother's mom, she decided to go buy me a Nintendo 3DS, but it was red. And she got me the oldest game out there, and it was Mario 64. And it was the worst game ever. But hey, I loved Mario 64. I loved the graphics were so good. Even though it came out in like 1996 or something, I loved that game. Like, I could not stop swimming in the water, seeing Toad, and like that. And that's how I got my Mario channel started, just because Mario 64. So shouts out to whoever made Mario 64. Thank you for the wonderful game. Please sponsor me. I'm lonely. And then I played Mario Kart for the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah, Nintendo 3DS. I got that for Christmas, and I played Luigi's Mansion and some other dumb games. And now I had a DS, but it was one of them boring ones that wasn't 3D, and it was like all like black. It was like all black, and like I had the best game I had on there was Batman. I loved them Batman games. One day I beat it, but it didn't save, and then that was my best game. I loved the Batman, one of them Batman games. I loved the graphics. I loved everything about it. So I didn't have what most of you kids had back then. I didn't have like all them other electronics. But now I do, and most people don't. So so if you got anything you don't use, why don't you sell to a charity or something? Water that you don't ever use, just put it in the fridge, wait till it's cold, give it to a charity or something. Also, or do an ice bucket challenge, and if you don't do that, you gotta donate $100 to something, but you decide if you want to do that or not. So yeah, that's my story. And, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.